How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of Fox Farm up in this piece in the form of their Avalonia, the Medley edition. Yeah, I've done an Avalonia before. It was raspberry, I believe. This has a bunch of stuff going on. It is an ale aged in oak barrels. I believe they all are. And this is where it kind of shifts with boysenberry, blueberry, mint, and lime. Okay. This is batch 1 of 421, so you're talking about 2 months old, not even, 5.6%. And this comes courtesy of my boy Steven. He sent off a bunch of beers. This be one of them. It is a scorcher of the day. The fan's on one more little bump of speed, so it might be a little bit louder. I do not care. I want to stay cool. I want something refreshing, to be perfectly honest with you. And I think this might foot the bill. Let's stop there. Label-wise, I mean, that's some of the best labeling in the business right there. Clean, concise, super classy. It has this bump out imprint thing kind of going on. Very heavy, dense linen style labeling. Green bottle. I mean, it doesn't get much prettier than that as far as that looks. It did have a head on it when I poured it and stuck around for a minute. Dissipated super quick. What we're left is something that looks like almost like a red wine. Cranberry juice, red wine kind of thing going on. There is just a little hint of carbonation on there still. You can kind of get a little bubble here and there. But, I mean, it looks the part of wine. If you give it a whirl, you get a little bit of effervescence. Let's get a nose. It's subtle. It's not overly aggressive, beer-wise. I mean, everything in here is very minimal. I'm not getting a big oak component, even though there is a decent amount of vanilla going on this. That's probably from that oak, I would assume. Those berries come off as a soft, organic, kind of almost like secondary juiced kind of berries. It has that kind of lack of richness to it. It has a little bit more of kind of like a, not even secondary juice, maybe an iced berry, where they put it in the freezer. That doesn't even make any sense because that means a more powerful berry. What am I trying to explain here? A watered down berry? Underripe, but not really. Just not as vibrant of a berry in there. And the lime is there also. So you're getting all these portions of this berry, a little bit of wood, a little bit of tart, more funky, not tart, funky beer, but nothing's over the top. Nothing super aggressive, but it's a very pretty, very organic, very subtle, very meaningful nose. So subtle and meaningful at the same time. I know, like, dude, you're just making up words now. I'm not. Makes sense in my brain. Let's dive in. Cheers. I mean, this is very much wine for me. Or let me rephrase it. Very much what I would like wine to be. In that I'm getting a lot of berry notes. Sure, it's not great, but it's a lot of berry notes. A soft oakiness. While it does have this kind of slightly chewy kind of mouthfeel to it, that lime adds almost like a kind of zip to it. Adds a little bit of chutzpah to it. Makes it a little bit lighter, makes it a little bit dancier because the carbonation isn't big. It's still there even though it looks completely flat. That lime just kind of heightens it a bit, makes it a little bit more kind of lively is the word I'm looking for. Now, the mint portion, I don't really get a ton of mint in here, but everything here is so subtle. I could see the mint playing a part in here that I'm just not even perceiving. Maybe it's elevating a lot of these fruit flavors and kind of bringing them up and kind of making them a little bit bolder. And that's what mint kind of does, definitely on a lower level. A lot of your pungent foods tend to do that. One of my favorite things to do is when I'm making mac and cheese is you put a very purposeful, meaningful, but not a huge dose of blue cheese in there. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like a blue cheese mac and cheese, but you're not putting it in there for blue cheese. You're taking that pungentness of the cheese and you're letting it make all the other cheeses a little bit more punchier. And that's where I think this mint kind of comes in here. It's taking all the bits and pieces. It's taking that wood. It's taking those berries. It's taking all the bits and pieces of the beer, the lime, and just kind of elevating it a little bit. Listen, 90 plus degrees, 100% humidity. This is going to go down very fast. Exactly what I wanted to drink, to be perfectly honest with you. I try to do that. I try to pull beers out that are kind of like what I want in that mood. I think it helps a little bit with the kind of, you know, man, struggling for words today. To set the stage for a lot of beers, and that's what a lot of beers is. It's music, it's art. You listen to an album for the first time in a very shitty situation, not like it. Down the road, you listen to it in a comfortable situation. I really kind of do like this. And same thing with beer. You're talking about something that is very quenching, very. I don't want to associate it with like an electrolyte drink, but it has those kind of vibes going for it. And then it's a thirst quenching kind of beer. I'm not heavily aggressive on a lot of fronts that might make this come off a little bit more brash. It's not overly tart. It's not super funky. It's not sour by any stretch. It's just a soft, light, fruity beer that's perched or propped up by that barrel and those other adjuncts in a very pretty way. Pretty beer is what it is. So yeah, I love it. I think it's fantastic. Let's talk about it. Is this one of the better fruit beers? Because that's where I classify this. Funky. What do they call it? They just said ale aged. Wood, fruit, adjuncts, mint, and lime. I mean, you want to go farmhouse ale on this? I would go fruit beer. One of the better fruit beers I've had as of late. Yes, Mount Rushmore status. Probably worthy, at least. I'm exhausted. Maybe that enthusiasm isn't coming off for this review. I apologize, but yeah, it's worthy. Value and availability, no idea. Steven, let me know what's what and leave you with. I feel like we like this. If you like fruit forward, mixed culture, farmhousey style beers, but you want them in a more subdued, drinkable fashion, where everything is a whisper, but everything is so working together that whisper over time becomes a little bit louder with each subsequent sip. You like something pretty, you like something meaningful, and you like something that doesn't have to scream to tell you a really good story. You will like this. So there you go. Reviewing a book. So if you've had this, please let me know down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers, if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif, if you want to check me out do the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Fox Farm right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.